Hey guys, welcome to one of the fastest growing sports YouTube channels out there, Gold and Blue Dude. And today we're going to talk about the teams that aren't ranked right now, but could get ranked after week 3. Let's go. Hey, what's going on everybody? It's me again, Gold and Blue Dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do college football videos every single day. Don't forget about my score prediction contest. Every week I pick out a game and a tiebreaker game. Whoever gets the closest to the score prediction wins 20 bucks. All you have to do is go to my Patreon page, join my Patreon page, you're eligible. If you join my $4.99, you get 1 guest prediction per week. If you join my $9.99, you get 2 guest predictions per week. If you join the $19.99, you get 4 guest predictions per week. This week's game is Alabama at Florida. And the tiebreaker game is going to be Auburn at Penn State. So join my Patreon page and send me your score prediction for Florida at Alabama and Auburn at Penn State. And this is not a prize that you have to wait till the end of the season. There's a winner every single week. Special shout out to all my channel members who have joined either through Patreon or YouTube. I do apologize if I mispronounce your name. My blue members are Jacob Smith, Brand Brooks, Nay Rocha, Freddie Kicklighter, Jackson Johnson, Yvette Foster, Joey Foster, Last Aggie 66, Ray Finkel's Ryan McCauley, Jeremy Armentrout, Denver Snyder, and Brian Hanlon. My gold members are Nasor Gafani and Jim Hamrick. And my champion members are Jeff Grimm and Patricia Ann Riggs. So when you join my channel, either through Patreon or YouTube, you're guaranteed to get a shout out. On this video, I'm going to talk about teams that aren't ranked right now, but could get ranked after week 3. First up, the honorable mentions. These teams have an outside chance of getting ranked if they win in week 3. Indiana, West Virginia, Boston College, SMU, Wake Forest, Baylor, UTSA, Texas Tech, Utah State, Air Force, Tulane, and South Alabama. These are the teams that I think have a legitimate shot at getting ranked after week 3 if they pull off a win in week 3. I think all these teams have a real shot, but I'm going to start from the least likely to the most likely. First up, Rutgers. They're 2-0. They play FCS Delaware, who's also 2-0. Rutgers has beaten Temple and Syracuse. Now, I give Rutgers a very small chance of getting ranked, but I think they have a chance if some other things happen. Next up, San Diego State. They're 2-0, and they're taking on Utah. They beat New Mexico State and Arizona. Hey, BYU beat Utah. They got ranked. Why not San Diego State? I think the Aztecs have a shot of getting ranked after week 3 if they beat the Utes. Next up, Marshall. They're 2-0, and they've looked pretty good. They whooped Navy and beat North Carolina Central. They're taking on East Carolina. Now, I know East Carolina doesn't move the needle much, but Marshall actually looks good. That's why I'm giving them a chance. Next is Army. They're also 2-0. They've beaten Georgia State and Western Kentucky. So at least there's no FCS teams on those wins. Saturday, they're taking on UConn, who they will beat. So Army will be 3-0, but they're going to need help if they're going to get ranked. Oklahoma State at Boise State. Oklahoma State is 2-0. They've beaten Missouri State and barely beat Tulsa. But if they can go on the road and beat Boise State, which I don't think they will, but if they do, they have a shot of getting ranked. Next is South Carolina. South Carolina is actually undefeated, 2-0. Now, granted, they beat Eastern Illinois and East Carolina, but still, if they were going to go on the road and beat number 2 Georgia, South Carolina gets ranked. I do not see that happening, but a couple years ago, I predicted South Carolina to go into Athens and upset Georgia. This would be an even bigger upset. Next is Liberty. They are 2-0 as well. I thought Liberty should have been ranked right off the bat this year. They brought back a lot from a great team last year. They're 2-0. They've beaten Campbell and Troy. Take on Old Dominion. They would need a lot of help, but I do think Liberty has a shot to get ranked. Next is Maryland, 2-0. They beat West Virginia and they obliterated Howard. Next, they go on the road to Illinois. If they beat Illinois, who did beat Nebraska, I think Maryland has a shot to get ranked. I really do. And I don't think a lot would have to happen. Just win convincingly. Next, we have UCF, also 2-0. They've beaten Boise State and Bethune-Cookman. They're going on the road to Louisville. So if they beat Louisville, it'd be 3-0. Pretty decent wins. Might need a little bit of help, but I think they can get ranked. Next up is a matchup of 2 teams that are 2-0. So winner could get ranked. Nevada's taking on Kansas State. Both of these teams are 2-0. Nevada has beaten Cal and Idaho State. Kansas State has beat Stanford and Southern Illinois. So both of these 2 teams actually have a decent win in there. I definitely think the winner of this game has a good shot of getting ranked. Next up, Fresno State. Now, they're 2-1. They're the only team that I have on here that has a loss. They beat UConn and they barely lost to Oregon, and they beat Cal Poly. This week, they're taking on number 13 UCLA on the road. I think if Fresno State goes on the road and beats UCLA, the AP poll will take into consideration that was a close loss against the top 5 Oregon on the road. Fresno State gets ranked. And I do have Fresno State winning this game, by the way. Next up, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, Pitt. I think Pitt deserves to be ranked already. They're 2-0 with wins over UMass and Tennessee. They have a pretty good looking team. They're taking on Western Michigan, who doesn't move the needle much. Might be enough for Pitt to get ranked. They'll be 3-0, and they've looked pretty good. This one might surprise you. Purdue. Purdue is undefeated. They are 2-0 with wins over Oregon State and UConn. Next game, they go on the road to number 12 Notre Dame. Notre Dame has looked suspect. So if Purdue goes on the road and beats Notre Dame, I think Purdue gets ranked. The only problem is they did lose their running back. I have Notre Dame winning this game, but if Purdue pulls off the upset, Purdue gets ranked. Next up, Virginia at number 21 North Carolina. Virginia is actually 2-0 with wins over William and Mary and Illinois. I think Virginia has a good shot to go on the road and beat North Carolina. And if they do, Virginia will get ranked and North Carolina will get unranked. They might just swap. Next on this list, another matchup of two undefeated teams. Mississippi State at Memphis. Both these teams are 2-0. Mississippi State with wins over Louisiana Tech and NC State. Memphis with wins over Nicholls and Arkansas State. I think the winner of this game gets ranked, period. Next up, we have Kentucky, who's 2-0. They're taking on Chattanooga. They have wins over UL Monroe and Missouri. Of course, I think Kentucky's going to win this game. I know Chattanooga doesn't move the needle much. I think Kentucky should already be ranked. This should just be a little cherry on top of that. Hey, AP poll, put Kentucky in the AP Top 25. They deserve it. And finally, Michigan State at number 24, Miami. Michigan State 2-0, wins over Northwestern and Youngstown State. I have Michigan State upsetting Miami. And when they do that, Michigan State will get ranked. I think the Spartans will be ranked after week 3. Y'all let me know who you think will be ranked after week 3. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.